Bart's Cooking. This is Edmund Low here, internet entrepreneur since 2005, and today we're going to do a landing page breakdown on one of my active webinars, and we're going to do this head to toe. So what you're looking at here right now, this is something that I've created and tweaked throughout the last few months, and it's currently producing an average of anywhere from 16 to 20% conversion. So what this means to say is that for every 100 clicks to this landing page, at least 16 to 20 people will sign up for this webinar. All right. Now, optimally speaking, it would be great that if your landing page is converting anywhere from 20% and above. Okay, but you have to understand that if you're doing an active webinar like this one, where the specific date and time for people to attend, then I think to get 16 to 20% conversion is considered pretty good already. All right. And have I created landing pages that have higher conversions than that? Absolutely, but you have to understand that that depends on the nature of the offer as well. So for instance, if I were to give a free PDF ebook, well, I've even done my 25 to 30% conversion rate across the board. Okay, so with that said, let's do a head to toe analysis and why this is converting. All right, so I think on first impression, you can pretty much tell that this is an internet marketing webinar, all right? So it'll be quite straightforward for those of you that are in the internet marketing niche, okay? So if you take a look at the top white border, it says live, register and attend this breakthrough online business training in bracket free, all right? So I'm doing a free webinar or a free web class, all right? And if you take a look at the headline, all right, 3 secrets we use to make consistent $300 to $500 a day from our online business. And let me tell you why this wording is important. Because for a lot of direct response marketers, they tend to word it this way: how to make $300 to $500 a day. All right. Now, some of you may not see the difference right off the bat, and if you notice the way I wrote here is that we use, all right? I didn't say how you or how to use it, right? Again, that's a difference why a lot of direct response marketers, they write that and they don't realize that actually that might get you into a bit of trouble if you're running cold traffic from Facebook ads, and maybe to a certain extent YouTube ads as well. It's because you're making a promise to some random person reading this page right now, and it's no different if you're doing this like here's how to lose 10 pounds, or here's how to get 10 women, for example, if you're in the dating niche and things like that. And now this is not to imply that you are lying. I mean, if you can back those up, great, but the thing is that you're making a promise to someone else that we're not even sure whether you can guarantee to make the results. Okay, so what I do is that I shift the headline to, instead of being direct, I make it indirect or third party. All right, now in this case here, you can see that here's how we, all right, make a consistent $300 to $500 a day. Or I can back that up, and the proof is over here already. Okay, now I didn't say you can make $300 to $500 a day. I say here's how we have made that. Okay, so there's a difference in telling people they can do it and telling people that you have already done it, all right? And at least you can back that up, okay? Anyways, the implication is still the same. And if you look at the sub-headline here, now, and here's how to do this, even if, all right? Now, this is my favorite sub-headline formula: how to do this even if, or how to do this without the drawbacks. All right, so in this case, here's how to do this even if you don't have a massive capital, you don't have technical sorcery, you don't have your own product, or you don't have a diva level following. Now, that's just me getting a little bit funky with my choice of words here. Previously, I would write something a little bit more straightforward. Here's how to do this without high capital, without technical skill, without your own product, and without a large following. So you can afford to get a little bit more creative with your choice of words so it doesn't get too boring. But at the same time, you might want to be a little bit careful in using what I call high-level jargon, or a choice of words that most people who don't speak English as a first language may have difficulty understanding. Okay, so but I think this is quite straightforward. It's quite easy to understand, and right off the bat you can tell that this might seem a little bit generic. Okay, it's a generic internet marketing offer because I am marketing to a broad audience, and my source of traffic is mainly from Facebook ads and YouTube ads, and that means cold traffic, people that have not heard about me before, and this is where their level of awareness is probably at the lowest. They just have what I would say, a very caveman instinct of like, okay, I want to make money online, but I do not know how to go about doing it just yet. Okay, so they have a very basic instinct, which is kind of where I was when I first started out. All right, you know, the thing about being a long time internet marketing expert or someone with a lot of experience, that we tend to forget what it's like being a beginner all over again. So over the time, we developed all this vocabulary, choice of words that our newbie self would have kind of forgotten. All right, so I call it the expert's curse. Okay, so anyways, I know we spent quite a bit of time on the headline, and that's really important here because this is where we're making the first impression. And speaking of first impression, if you notice, my color scheme is mainly this shade of black and red. All right, so I've the thing about building a landing page or any website for that matter is that you want to have an immediately identifiable color scheme. So if you take a look at this right away, you can see the colors like this black and red stands out right away, and white as well. Okay, for a lot of beginners, when they make their website, they tend to make it like in a very colorful, flashy, rainbowy kind of way. All right, so you want to stick to like mainly 2 or 3 color scheme at the most. I mean, if you take a look at websites like Facebook, all right, it's basically blue, pigeon blue, and white. Okay, so they don't use crazy colors. Okay, yeah, Google would be the exception, by the way. All right, so anyways, right off the bat, you can see that there's also a feature video here as well. Now, there are some experts that claim that if you put a video on the landing page, the conversions will drop further. And I have tested with video and without video, and I find that by putting a video on the landing page seems to have converted the best for me. And I also want to let you know upfront that when people attend this live webinar, I do have a program to pitch, definitely. All right, and it's at $997 US. So sometimes you cannot just take a look at, oh, it's a low conversion on the landing page, or it's a little bit higher cost per lead. But what I care about as well is that, are these people qualified, as in like, do they know why they're here? Are they interested? And do they convert in the end? So I'm just going to tell you flatly across the board, I'm currently doing about an average of 4 to 5 return on ad spend, and this is backed by the last few months of running this nearly every week. So I think that's pretty good return on ad spend, or ROAS as some of us say. All right, so anyways, let's not jump around. This is a video here. I'm not going to play the video, by the way, because this is like a 2-minute video or 1.5 minute. This is actually the same video ad that I run for one of my YouTube ads, but I created a few variations. That's why I can afford to put one over here. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that the size of this video is, the width is 720 pixels, all right, by I think 405. Now, the width is, I think, more important, 720. I have tested with 853. So normally I test 2 sizes. It's either 720 or 853. And I find that if I put an 853 pixel width sales video here, it's gonna be a little bit too big, all right? I want people to get down to the call to action button as quickly as possible. So I went with 720. It seems to do good so far, and this video is uploaded on YouTube unlisted, by the way. The thing about uploading a video on YouTube is that you want to make sure that there is a thumbnail. Okay, so you can see here I've got a thumbnail that's a caricature of me with an income screenshot here. That's mine, by the way. Okay, I didn't pluck off from Google anywhere. Okay, so you can see it catches people's attention right off the bat. So yeah, I know some people would say you wrote $300 to $500 a day, and then there's like 3812 over here. So I know that it might seem like there's a little bit of a discrepancy going on here, but I'm going more towards the angle of curiosity. All right, can this guy back up what you say? Okay, so further down, you're going to see that this is the immediate call to action. So always below the video, I will have a call to action right away, the first one. All right, there's a countdown timer to the next live webinar as of the time of this video. So I put live webinar, and what I'd like to do now is that I like to put the next 2 dates. So I have one here at 17th November and the next one on 25th November. All right, so I like to have 2 dates so that I want to maximize my conversion rates, because sometimes some people may not be able to make it for a particular date or time. They can still make it for the next one. So you might also notice there's a slight animation towards the click here to register now button. It's kind of rocking up and down a little bit. I find that does convert as well. And if you're curious to know what page builder I'm using to make all this possible, it is called Optimizepress 3. I'll leave that link below this video if you want to check it out. That's a page builder that I use for nearly all of my websites today. It's great. You don't have to get like a lot of plugins. This is like the one page builder to rule them all. Yeah, it's a WordPress site. Okay, so you get a WordPress site, install this plugin, and you can build the pages that you need. All right, so there are a few options that you can choose from. If you're just having one website, you can choose one license. But me, I'm a heavy user, so I have the ultimate license. All right, so anyways, if you click on this, click here the register now button, you're going to see that a form pops up, right? So we call it an overlay pop-up. So overlay means that if you click on it, then something will show up on the browser. All right, so you can see here I'm asking for name, email, and phone number, and then I click submit and continue. So I use Zoom for my webinars here, and the way I set it up in my case is that I want to collect the name, an email address, and a phone number in this case, and then they can choose whichever session they want to join next. All right, because my priority here is that I want to collect leads first. That's the most important thing I'm doing here. So this would always change, the date and time, definitely, especially the date. Always the next 2 session for me in this case, because by putting just one session, in my experience is that people either can make it or they can't make it. But if I put 2 sessions, then people can at least choose. All right, so that actually helps bump up the conversion rates a little bit more. All right, so moving down, all right, doesn't end there. So I have this 3 icons over here, and you also notice something interesting here is that this video actually follows down as well. If you look at the top right, again, this all of this can be done with the same page builder. And yeah, I know I'm like kind of like endorsing it quite a bit. I've been using it for many years myself when it was in its first version. Now it's currently like version 3, and they're always updating. All right, so anyways, this video kind of follows. I think it doesn't follow in mobile though, but this is a desktop version right now. Okay, so anyways, if you take a look at this, I put 3 icons here. I put book your calendar, the schedule about 1.5 hours, so you let people know in advance that this is going to be a 1.5 hour web class and actionable content, right? So like basically the 3 main things. Okay, and if this is viewed in a mobile phone, what's going to happen is that the row or the columns is going to be viewed from left to right. So they're going to see book your calendar first, and then they scroll down, it's 1.5 hours, scroll up actionable content. So it's really important that this is also mobile responsive on phones. Why is that? Because 90% of the traffic today, or more than that, is coming from mobile. Okay, so again, for the purpose of demonstration, you're seeing this on the desktop version, but if you're gonna imagine this in a mobile version, and if you have 3 columns, it'll start from left to right. Okay, so after that, what you will discover, and this is where we put in the list of like the attractions. Okay, it has to all be curiosity driven. All right, now I'm not going to read every single word obviously, but I'm just going to give you a rough lay down. Like the first one is why guru positioning and technical stuff are a complete waste of time. Now the whole premise about running a web class isn't really to teach new stuff, and it's not because we don't want to do that, or I'm being stingy with my knowledge and things like that. But you understand that when people join web classes or webinars, right? Yes, they have a certain goal in mind. They obviously have expectations, but they can't embrace new ideas or new strategy or new sequence if they are running on an old programming. All right, so that is a topic fit for another video or another day, but right now I'm going on the basis of curiosity and getting people excited. I mean, that's the whole idea, right? How do we make boring topics become very exciting? So if you see web classes about forex, trading, I mean, these are all very technical, and to be very frank, can be downright boring things to do, even though they make money. So what do? I mean, people that teach forex trading and things like that, they have to make it exciting and appealing for sure. All right, and internet marketing is also no different. All right, and how my clients and I follow a simple process to generate sales day in, day out. So I'll show you a little tip here. Once you're done writing a landing page, you want to do a quick scan on your page and make sure that words like easy and simple are there in your landing page, right? I mean, that's what people want to hear. So I know the word may sound very cliche, the word easy and simple is as cliche as the word secret. However, these are words that people want to hear. Nobody wants to hear difficult stuff, all right? So I know this is kind of a struggle that even I go through myself in, do we tell people what they need to hear? Do we want to tell people what they want to hear, all right? And the truth of the matter is that this is what people want to hear. Easy, simple, without all the drawbacks, all right? That's why they're doing this, or else they might as well figure things out on your own, okay? So why the digital business is the best business to be in? Obviously, I am biased. If you ask me, I love digital products or a digital business, and I will share why this is the best business to be in. Of course, to be fair, if you attend another webinar, the guy is going to tell you cryptocurrency is the best business to be in, or Forex is the best thing to be in, and things like that. We all have our own biasness, but the thing is that we are appealing to people that share the same worldview or the same belief as us, okay? So, where you want to add some figures as well, like how we rocket ourselves up to like 880%, share some figures as well, okay? How we acquire customers with no cost, low cost, and high leverage traffic methods. And by the way, all right, I know I've covered quite a few things here, but make sure that you're really covering this in your webinar, because when I started out, I didn't know what I was doing, or I was overwhelmed myself. That there are some people that pointed out, hey, I read your landing page, and there were some things that you mentioned but you didn't cover in your webinar. So sometimes, again, one of the curses about experts is that we know too much, but we don't have a lot of time to share that message. And sometimes we tend to omit some things that might not seem important to us, but it's important to the end user, all right, or whoever's watching your webinar, all right? Okay, so ultimately, how to do this with just yourself at a laptop, no need for fancy office employees and a complicated setup, and how this will change your life in the next few months. So I know the word change your life may sound very, cliche nowadays, because a lot of people are using the choice of word. It kind of like dilutes the power of those choice of words compared to like maybe many years ago, all right? But if you can back up what you say, then there's nothing wrong in using those words, okay? So next part of the landing page, this section here, I introduce myself as the lead trainer. Hey, meet Edmund Low, and this is where my bio comes in. There's a handsome, nice picture of me over here. So yeah, I know I'm dressed casually right now compared to this picture over here. All right. Now, do you need to have a professional photo like this? Not necessary. I mean, there was a time I didn't have this kind of photos. And you can just take a nice picture of yourself, get someone to help you out, all right? Most importantly, have a clear picture of yourself with a thumbnail headshot kind of picture at the very least, all right? But if you can spare a little bit of money on a professional photo shoot, dress up a little bit nicely, do your hair up a bit better as well, then great, okay? Now, I'm not gonna get too long about myself here on my bio here. You can see it's just a few paragraphs. That's totally cool. And if you take a look at this set of logos here, now, even though you're seeing them right now, that is optional, okay? Now, if you don't have those kind of logos, like you've never appeared in some like local media or anything like that before, that's totally fine, all right? But because in my case, I've appeared in a newspaper before, I've spoke on stage before, I've worked with some of these brands here before, then great, I could put them there, right? But I want you to know that that is not a huge deciding factor about whether people should trust you or not, okay? In my case, because most of my traffic comes from fellow Malaysians like myself, these logos would make sense to them. But this version of the landing page, when I market this to an international audience, I will not be using these logos because they do not know what these logos represent, okay? So again, know your audience, all right? Now, next up, I have a co-host here. Now, that really depends on the webinar here. I would say that this part is rather negligible or optional, okay? If I'm working with someone here, in this case it's Henry Go, who is my co-host for some of my webinars, then his little info will be there. But you might notice that he doesn't have a picture over here, and I'm just doing it deliberately because over here I'm the main trainer, so I don't want people to think that it's a 50-50 partnership going on, which is not true, all right? Henry, in this case, he's a good friend of mine, but he's just a co-host, so either I don't put his picture, or if I do, it's just going to be like a small picture of him over here, all right? So it's either one of that. And the next part is testimonials, all right? Testimonials, here's what others say after working with me or working with us, all right? So I put 4 videos over here. Now, could I put more than that? I can as well. I mean, I've collected quite a number of videos. I've collected dozens by now, but in the interest of loading, page loading is very important, right? I don't want this page to take too long to load with too many videos, so I just single out 4 main videos that people can check out for a testimonial, right? So I chose the 4 best and most relevant one, and I put it here. Okay. Now, if you don't have any testimonial, that's totally fine. I mean, once upon a time there were no testimonials on my landing pages as well, and that should not affect people's decision about joining you. Now, does it help with conversions? Yes, it does bump things up quite a bit. But if you don't have it just yet, don't be disheartened. You can always get started first. Maybe in place of testimonials, it can be your own results in screenshots or things like that, and you can run with it. Okay. And after that, now this over here, now this section might not look important to a lot of people. In fact, you don't find this as part of a typical landing page formula. And I wrote here core values that we believe in. Now this is something I just came out on my own in terms of putting into a landing page. And these are values that I feel very strongly about. All right. Now, if you are a value-driven person, that means there are things that form what kind of person you are or the way you do things, and you can sum them up succinctly in okay, I'm not sure if I'm using that word correctly. Okay. All right. If you can sum those words up perfectly into a few lines or a few words, that would be fantastic. All right. So in my case, my core values that I really believe in are authenticity, to tell it as it is without fluff and hype. Working smart always beats working hard. It's something I feel very strongly about. Consistency, okay, something I feel strongly about as well, because I came from a background where I keep doing product launches. So we were doing from one launch to another, that even though the income was great, but if I didn't do the next launch, the money will stop coming in. I've been doing that for many years. So now I value consistency in terms of like the income is still being generated whether I do a launch or not. In fact, I haven't done a launch in years already. Okay. System and success belongs to anyone regardless of background and creed. So these are the 5 values that I feel very strongly about. Now, am I saying you should copy my values? Please don't do that. All right. At least not word for word. These are some of the values that you can feel very strongly about, that you resonate with. Fantastic. But with that said, I do highly encourage you that you explore within yourself what are the values that you feel strongly about. Why this is important is because when you mention all the values that you believe in, it's also a way of saying that, hey, how many of you agree with me that these are the values that you also believe in as well? So it's a like attract like. All right. So again, this is not a typical landing page formula, and it's something I just put it in here as well, and let people know that these are the things that I stand for, and if they stand for the same similar values as well, then guess what? We are on the same page. Okay. And we're inching closer towards the end here. Who is this for? And this is a great list you can put here as well. Now, can you put in items? Yeah, you can as well. But me, I'm just putting things a little bit differently. Internet marketers, affiliates, digital product creators, online resellers, and marketing agencies, freelancers, and beginners that want to go online. So this is a way of saying, hey, these are the kind of people I want to invite in my webinar as well. So it also gives you clarity on what kind of people that you want to attract to your webinar or whatever offer that you have. Okay, so in this case, it's a webinar, it's a free web class, and these are the people that I would like to welcome into my webinar. I mean, for example, if the person is a forex trader or a weight loss person, probably this is not for them. Okay, so you can see that we're doing what we call I won't call it damaging admission, because damaging admission means that you're really narrowing down the people that you want to work with. And right now, we don't want to be doing damaging admissions just yet. We want to be inclusive within a reasonable frame. So these are the people I'm looking for, right? And then there's a red arrow pointing down. So the reason why I like to put a red arrow pointing down is that, hey, this is a call to action again. And this should look familiar to you, because this is the second time that I am asking people, hey, click here to register right now. So this is actually a repeat of the call to action that we saw just now. Okay, so the same thing here. So in a landing page, the longer the page, the more call to actions you want to have. So reasonably here, you want to put at least 2 or 3 call to actions. Okay, and if you look below the call to action, I have about 4 questions over here. So this is a great place that you can put a Q&A or frequently asked questions. All right. So I came out with the very common ones. Okay, is this a webinar, a live one, a pre-recorded? They clicked on it, oh, it's going to be live. Is this going to be about digital products or physical products? No, it's about digital. Okay, what is the fee? Oh, it's free, right? In a show value. Okay, here's the thing, people are going to be a bit skeptical, right? And let's call it for what it is. Anyone can run a free web class nowadays, and the thing is that it's not about whether it's free anymore or not. It's about, is this worth my time? Okay, so, and of course, people who are very familiar with webinars, they go like, I know you have a program you're going to sell at the end of the whole thing. So, it's going to be a pitch fest or anything like that. So you want to let people know, hey, you're running this with an intention, or you have a certain goal here, right? Now, of course, you're not going to say, hey, I'm doing this with the intention of selling you. You have to put it in a very tactful manner, okay? Why are you doing this for free, okay? So in my case, I always say this, in a show of value, I'm going to give you no cost for joining this at all. There's no cost at all, right? In a show of value. So that's my way of saying it, and it's true, all right? Because I believe in proving your worth first if you want to earn a client's trust or a customer's trust, okay? So in a show of value, I'm going to do this at no cost, okay? And all right, when will you consider doing this masterclass again? Yeah, some people will be like, yeah, I can't make it for this date, I can't make it for the next day. Are you going to do it again, all right? So although I do it regularly for this brand of webinar, but I let people know, hey, no promises exactly, because there are some weeks I might take my week off, all right? I can't be running a webinar all the time, okay? I got other things to do as well, okay? And this is not my main business. I sell digital products. That's my main business, okay? Not doing this webinar, okay? So I host this only on demand or whenever I am available, which again, that is true. So all this is great, especially when it's true, all right? You don't have to fake it. I never encourage people to, fake up reasons and alibis and things like that. It's more powerful when it's authentic, okay? So, and on a very final note, if you take a look at the footer here, now, do you have to put these icons here again or logos? That it's not really necessary. If you don't have it, then it's fine, all right? But me, I have something to show. I got a Facebook Blueprint certification. I'm a premium JVZoo seller and a premium JVZoo affiliate. Now, if it makes sense, put it there, all right? If you don't have this or it doesn't make sense, don't put it there for the sake of putting things there, all right? Because I talk about Facebook ads, I talk about digital products. These logos will make more sense to some people that are actually joining this, okay? So of course, this is a typical copyright notice, which it's pretty much there, all right? So that's the breakdown on this webinar landing page from head to toe. And yes, it's kind of elaborate compared to some of the landing pages you might be used to seeing, where they just put a headline, maybe a non-clickable video. If you click on it, they say you have to sign up right now, and then they put a few items like a bullet points, and then click here to register right now. So again, I know this is a little bit long, and admittedly, if this landing page is about half the size or half the length, it might convert better. That's my suspicion here right now. But the reason why I want it to be the length that it is right now is because I'm also kind of like balancing out between quantity and also quality. So when people who go through this page and when they sign up, most of the time they know why they're doing it and they are more driven. All right, I mean, like I've mentioned at the start of this video, I have landing pages where I give a free PDF book. It's no more than a headline, a book cover, and click here to get your instant access right now. And I just ask for name and email address, or in some cases I just ask for email address, and the cost per lead can be like 50 cents to $2 per email lead, all right, which is pretty good. Over here, depending on the country and of course certain times of the week as well, my cost per lead can be 3, 4 to maybe sometimes $6. It kind of fluctuates, all right? And yes, I mean, some people might say, hey, your cost per lead is a little bit higher than maybe could be lower as well. So I'm still in the works of optimizing. I'm always doing that, even though of late it's been getting better. But with that said, this is how I structure my landing page. Hope you got quite some insights from it on the way you do your landing page. And of course, please don't go and copy it word for word, but you can use it as a reference. You can use it as a model, right? So my name is Edmund. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you the next time around. All right, you take care.